the end of the day and realize that you completely forgot about dinner and you've been busy homeschooling the kids, out adventuring and doing all the wonderful things, get home and there's nothing organized. And do you find that the laundry has piled up so high that you tend to have more clothes in the pile than you do in the wardrobes? And do you find that these kinds of things take up way more time than they really should? They distract you from what's really important, like having a great homeschool day with your kids, like being able to really be present rather than thinking about all the extra things that you need to try and shove into your day. I know what it's like feeling overwhelmed by all these what seem like really unimportant jobs. So today I'm sharing 5 of my favorite things for time saving and worry-free homeschooling. Hello, welcome. My name is Tiffany and this is Hint to Life Homeschool. My channel is all about homeschooling, motherhood and organisation. So if those things interest you, please subscribe. I'd love to connect with you. So let's talk meal planning. I'm standing in my pantry. I thought it was a fitting environment for this video today because a lot of it is meal prepping and food related, amongst other things as well. But I felt like this was probably one of my biggest and most overwhelming issues. I wasted a lot of food because I wasn't meal planning. I felt a genuine overwhelm every day around meals. And I just couldn't seem to find a system that worked for me. It was all of the systems out there that I had investigated. I tried so hard and essentially they were just too complicated. I needed to break it down. So this is my system. It's simple, it's beautiful, and it works. Snacks are a huge pain point in our home. It seems like my kids are always hungry. I think it's a homeschool thing. I tended to get all the same snacks over and over and over, and they would become very boring, and I'd bake the same things over and over because I just get stuck in, it doesn't bring me joy coming up with new foods and new recipes and all that sort of stuff. It just doesn't, I don't have the time for it. I like them to eat good foods, but it's really hard to stay motivated to make them. So I started with a snacks list, and that allows me to give them this, hand this to my children. This gives them motivation to kind of look at it. They go through it and they go, oh yeah, this, and this. That's what I'd like for this week. And I can organize that, and it's easy. It makes it easy. So they have input on what they want to eat. So when they, when I say I'm doing the groceries, which ones did you want this week? They can pick which ones they want. And no one's having to come up with ideas. It's not off the top of my head. It's not, I can look at what's on special and make sure I'm getting, reasonably priced things, all of that sort of stuff. The next thing is I've done on the back of that page is meal ideas. So these are my basic, simple meals, and I just have them on a rotation. I drop some and I pick some up, and I generally make sure I have the ingredients that makes all of these things because they all work together. Now that's a personal thing. You need to make up yours, but I made it a mission to try and have at least 30 meal ideas, and I picked out my favorite and I've put them here, and I've broken them up into pastas, rice, beef, pork, vegetarian and chicken. So I feel like we can balance things out and incorporate some more vegetarian meals into our week as well. It keeps things nice and light. Some of those things can be done for lunches as well as reheats. It's just so much easier. So every week I update this board. Sometimes we have the same thing every week. For maybe 2 or 3 weeks. If I'm on like an autopilot where things are really intense, I just make the same meals over and over and no one notices. It works quite well. So I write them up here so everyone knows what's for dinner, and we have this little section over here where we write down anything that's unusual, that's not our staples list. I'll get to that in a minute, but we write down what is kind of, in what we're running low on or what we need. Over here just as a prompt to remind us. I really do recommend online shopping, and I save my shopping carts. So I actually have one main shopping cart and I buy like a good 2 weeks worth of groceries. They're all staple kinds of foods, like shelf stable is what I mean. So I have two save lists in my grocery shopping section. When I log in, I can just go straight to that and I just literally just add the entire thing to cart, and then I just increase quantities as I need them. And that's my prompt to come in here and check what everything is looking like. I can delete it off the cart or I can add more. The next thing that I have is a staples list, which is basically things that I don't need every fortnight when I do my grocery shopping. It's just stuff that I tend to buy in bulk when it's on sale. So I can go through that and have a look at the prices, see if anything's on sale and buy a couple of those things or anything else that really we're desperate for. Those things really allow me to be efficient. It takes 5 minutes to do the grocery shopping now, and anything extra like we've written up here just gets added in. My next tip is clear storage jars. You can have a clear vision of what you are needing when you are doing any form of shopping and buying supplies. You can visually see what you need. And there's no like opening things up. There's no like looking inside and trying to figure out or guessing or weighing. You have a full visual of it. My next tip is have a slow cooker and a pressure cooker. These two appliances are used every single week without fail, sometimes daily. They are so helpful because for different reasons. So a slow cooker is fantastic for when I know I'm going to be out all day and I know that. So I plan my food, that meal that I have planned for that day. I plan it so that it's a slow cooker meal. And there is nothing better than getting home from a really massive day, having the most amazing smell coming at you as you open the door. So slow cookers are wonderful and I really find them so budget friendly. And I have some really great cookbooks that work with slow cookers and those meals are fantastic. I'll leave my recommendations in the description box below of the cookbooks that I use as well. They're really simple and they kind of chuck everything in and it still comes out amazing. My pressure cooker is something that I absolutely love. It's something that I added last year to address some of these issues, and that is to involve my husband a little bit more in the cooking. He's not the most confident cook, so he has a limited sort of list of recipes that he can achieve, but the pressure cooker has actually really helped him with that. I have a Tefal cook for me, which I think is very, very similar to another one in America. I can't think of the name of it now, but it is essentially one that you set and it has a whole heap of pre-programmed recipes in it and you follow the instructions in the actual appliance, and that has changed things a lot for us. Next favorite thing is my laundry system. It has been an absolute game changer. And I really wanted a minimal approach to everything really. I wanted to simplify everything, including our wardrobes. We had so many clothes and nothing to wear. It was kind of that situation where most of the things were either too big or too small. There was nothing that ever fit properly and we just didn't know what we had. And I had a massive clean out and was shocked at the sheer amount of stuff that no longer fit my kids and yet I had been holding on to. And so that was the big eye opener for me. And it made me really see that we don't actually need a whole lot. And with the new system that I have with our laundry system, it has changed things so much that I am able to wash clothes every day. I have a system, I have a schedule, and I follow that schedule. Each day, I have a zone to focus on. And that means in my cleaning schedule, it means that if it's bedroom day, it's the sheets that need to go into the washing machine. If it's bathroom day, I'm cleaning the bathroom and I'm taking all the towels and all the mats and they're all going into the washing machine. And in addition to that, I'm doing our clothes. So our clothes get washed most days and it works really, really well. I no longer hang things out on the clothesline. I don't have a dryer. That's too much for us. We don't need a dryer because we have such little amounts of things that need to be dried if we keep on top of the system. So it just seems to work really well to be able to grab our clothes out of the washing machine, hang them up. It's a small handful of clothes usually that need to go. My washing machine weighs everything and it accommodates that with the water. So there's no like excessive water wastage with washing them daily or weekly. There's really not much difference there. So it just works really well. And so I usually give these kinds of jobs to my kids. They're really easy jobs, and my kids really want to do more chores around the house. They're feeling more able to, earn some pocket money. It really helps me out, and we're working on a system with that. And it brings them a lot of joy because they're really contributing to the family in a way that they feel able and happy to do so. And they know that they're helping everybody by doing it. So they alternate days on who puts the washing on and who takes the washing out and hangs it. And they hang it straight onto hangers. So pants go onto pant hangers, and shirts go on, and dresses go onto normal hangers, and they all get hung on the system that I purchased from IKEA, which was like $19. I kid you not. And it's changed things so much for us. It is very small, it doesn't need a whole lot of space, and it works really well for our small laundry. Having a minimal home should mean less things to do, and that's exactly why I love having it. I have a simple, very minimal home. We don't have a lot of things that we have to maintain, which means a very minimal cleaning approach. And so I have created this cleaning schedule that allows me to really just focus on zones, but it's just a very like simple approach where it's just a couple of things that need to be done. And because I'm doing them on those days, I do them in the morning before we start lessons, just after I've done my morning routine. There's this tiny, gap of 15 to 20 minutes. That's all it ever takes. And I smash it out, and I put a podcast on, and I love it because I'm, listening to a podcast, and I'm getting that space done and addressed. And as for things like floors, I do them as a need by need basis. We see when that needs to be done. We have animals, so you start seeing, evidence that the floors need to be cleaned or vacuumed or swept or washed. So I do those generally twice weekly. Sometimes I try to do them 3 times a week. It really is a need by need basis. We all have allergies, so we tend to be pretty on top of that. So our cleaning schedule has saved me so much grief and so much stress, and it really, really works. So I love the fact that each day I know that it's a specific zone and I can focus in on that zone. And the great thing that I'm noticing now is that because I'm doing it so regularly, things aren't, by the time I get to it, it's really just a quick clean, like a quick wipe over, because it's being tended to so regularly now. So I'm able to kind of go, I have a little bit of extra time. I might like do this next, or open up the cupboard and reorganize that. And so I'm noticing a really ripple effect. And some weeks, we have a really, really intense day and I don't get to that. And that's okay. I might squeeze it into the next day, or I just wait till it comes around again. It's not the end of the world. But it just means that I know that day it was supposed to be done, and I can try and make it up, or I can just look at everything and go, oh well, it looks acceptable, and I can wait until the following week. And it seems to work. Like the laundry, for instance, it doesn't get too bad in there, but that's where I put all of my, like if I purchase things for school or furniture or something, that's where I usually put the big boxes, because I try to cut those down and keep the cardboard for school projects and things like that. So those are the kinds of things that I would address in the laundry room, because the laundry does get kept quite clean. Or I might find, because our laundry is in our garage, I might go, I might just vacuum out the car. So those are the kinds of things that I go to when I go to that space, that zone that doesn't necessarily need to be done. I think more about, well, what else is there? Because I have this time allocated to do this thing. And it's really starting to work really well. I'm seeing big differences in those spaces now. They're looking more than just cleaned, they're looking really cleaned. So that is something that has been a huge difference in our home, and all of it has made a massive difference to my day, my feeling of overwhelm, my feeling of being on top of things, and that just translates to feeling more relaxed when we're homeschooling. And these things can really take a lot of energy away from you when you're surrounded, when you're in the home and you're homeschooling. When you are in the home, it feels like you can't concentrate. Well, that's how I felt anyway, before I addressed these pain points for me. And it just means that I feel lighter and more able to be present with my kids, and that's what's so important. So that's why I made it such a mission to address. So I hope that you have found these steps, these things that I've taken and made a point of changing and addressing. I hope that you found them helpful. Please let me know in the comments below if you did, or what sort of things, what sort of systems that you have addressed, or what pain points are you trying to figure out this year as well. I'd love to hear them. Thank you so much for watching, and if you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!